Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahweh Shai.
Barakatah Yahweh Shai.
All praises, honor, and glory.
Oh, go ahead.
Let me see. All right, it's recording. Hey, Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahweh Shai.
Barakatah Yahweh Shai.
All praises, honor, and glory be to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Baha, Rakah, Quadash. A double honor to our apostles at Great Millstone. And peace, love, and mercy be unto you, sincere Akim, you elect that are throughout the four corners of the world who push the truth. Behalf Bashem Yahweh Shai, diligently and sincerely. The water Yahweh Yahweh Shai for allowing us to do another video. Basically, it's about 4:11 in the morning, 4:11 a.m. And the spirit has it to where me and this brother, we pretty much couldn't sleep. So, hey, what does that old song say? You can't sleep at night. Hey, maybe the Most High is trying to tell you something. Hey, the scripture tells you about how concerning this internet. This internet was a tool created from Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai for us to preach the word, and to get his message throughout the four corners of the world, whether it be lamentation, mourning, or woe. Basically, we're going to get into prophecy in an article concerning Russia, Turkey, and the U.S. Basically, we know that America has no strong weapons defense system. They basically, when it comes down to America's weapons defense system, they fall behind every other country, within the world. They don't have the ability to intercept airplanes or intercept long-range missiles or intercontinental ballistic missiles. So basically that makes America very weak and vulnerable. So concerning this internet, and us getting into this article, the scripture says day unto day and night unto night utter speech. So you can go on the internet pretty much at any time or any wee hour of the night and find out something that you're searching up, or look at videos concerning brethren and the prophecies that they're pushing, and the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai that they're pushing. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and share the screen.
I got one little side note before
you.
Okay, okay. The brother said you made a statement, and it's just through the spirit that brothers couldn't sleep. It was a quote by this dude named David Wolf. He said, "Brothers, people who have high intellect have trouble sleeping at night." And that's the spirit and high intellect through Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. That was just a little side note, you know what I mean? And that's just carnal motherfucker speaking, That's just spirit on them, brothers. Go ahead, brother.
Okay.
Yep.
So as you see right here on the screen, it says Russia might sell S-400 system to U.S. if Americans feel insecure. Now we know that they're not going to really sell this S-400 system to America, but what this right here is considered a taunting proverb, or it's a taunt that America's enemies are doing to America, because they know. It was just all over the news how America's missile defense system is horrible. They know that America doesn't have a great weapons defense system to protect themselves against any foreign attack, any submarine missile. Because you got a certain group of guys, they don't believe that there's 200 million missiles that are going to hit and destroy America. And they will go online, they'll do some research, and they'll say, okay, well, this country has so many amount of thermonuclear missile warheads, and this country has so many amount. First of all, these countries aren't going to put the actual amount that they have out there. But then you have non-tactical nuclear weapons, and then you have tactical nuclear weapons. Non-tactical nuclear weapons will be short-range nuclear weapons, so nuclear weapons that can be fired from an airplane or aircraft, or can also be fired from a boat. Those are still considered nuclear warheads. you know, and then also you have tactical, you know, which is your long range ICBM missiles, you know, which can carry up to about 15 warheads in them, you know. So America's missile defense system is not up to par. You know, it can't prevent this place from an attack. So here it is. You got Russia taunting America, saying basically, if you feel insecure, because Russia was selling these S-400 systems to a country that's supposed to be an American ally. You know, a country that's part of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. You know, they were selling it to Turkey. You know, but according to scriptures, the prophecy states that even America's allies are going to turn on them. So let's read a little bit of this article, which was published. It was published today. Matter of fact, today, wherever in the world where it's 5:10.
Right.
But because it damn sure ain't 5:10 right here. It says the head of Russia's Strategic Defense Industry Corporation, Rostek, yeah, Rostek.
Yeah.
It says Moscow is ready to sell S-400 air defense systems to any nation that feels insecure and wants to seal its airspace, including the U.S. if it wants to. So this is Russia acknowledging that America doesn't have its airspace sealed. You know, basically making America weak to any attack from anywhere around the world. You know, any country that have ICBM missiles, and that's the reason why America is so bound on pushing to establish, you know, intercontinental ballistic missile treaties, you know, with other nations, basically limiting their use of those nuclear weapons. You know, which these countries are saying to hell with that. You know, to hell with these deals. You know, that's one of the reasons why they're trying to invade Iran right now. Reading on, it says just before the end of the year, Moscow agreed to supply S-400 surface-to-air missile batteries to Ankara, making Turkey the first NATO member state that will integrate Russia technology into the North Atlantic defense structure once the 2.5 billion order is delivered. On Wednesday, Sergei Kirzaz, head of the Russian state conglomerate Rostec, extended the offer to purchase S-4 Triumph, or the SA-21 Growler, as it is known by NATO, to the Pentagon.
Sure, can I get a side note? Okay. You got NATO countries getting missile defense systems from Russia. They're getting the missile defense systems. Why are they getting missile defense systems? They're not trusted. It's like it's to the point now. These nations are not trusting each other, as they especially don't trust America. They hate this place, man. So watch it with Turkey. You got to watch what Turkey is up to, because you don't hear Turkey in the world news about anything. So there's some underlying thing that's going on that Turkey, because who was Turkey in battle? I think what, Syria? It's something that's going on in the world that they're buying or purchasing missile defense systems from other nations. And you know what? No country trusts this goddamn place right here called America, which is Babylon the Great. It is Babylon the Great, and the world is about to. It's going to be a big change, man. The shift is coming to the point where America is already becoming the little brother, or about to become small, like the rest of these nations, just be on the same plane. So it's time that now Russia is basically the brother bringing out how they taunting America, basically laughing at them. You know, like, bitch, you can't do whatever, you can't do nothing to us. You know, we're gonna keep selling whatever we want, our missiles, our oil, our if we got products, go deal with North Korea, South Korea, whoever we want to deal with. So we keep, and as taunting them is just like keep hitting the beehive, you know, because Russia has been holding themselves back for years, And now to the point where while you over here celebrating the whole, because you got the whole world in your grip, they just sat back and watched and built their whole system up and used that technology and used their minds now to the point where they can deal with other nations because you done fucked up your not collaborations, but your alliances, because you're known to come in other countries and take and steal. And you know, Russia would do a deal. And you know, and to the point where you was already in a Cold War for years with Russia, and y'all already didn't have any type of real good, what they call a real good not a conversation, but real good rapport with each other from the beginning. It wasn't a good rapport. So now Russia's just taking advantage of every mistake you had. Mm-hmm. So to the whole world, hey, Russia looks better than you do because you were sitting the IMF, you know, and take resources or Wall Street or whatever that comes in and takes resources, even though we all know it from the elites. You know, Russia don't really deal with them elites, even though they have, you know, it's a deal. They have to deal in the world with the elites, you know. So like I just had to do a little side now. So these nations are ready, man. They getting ready. Go ahead. So like
we'll pull up this other article. And this one is from a website. The first article was from RT. If you Akim want to go and look it up. This one is from a website called FighterSweep.com, which is another. I mean, this is my first time seeing this, but you know, I did a search on, you know, the S-400 SAM, you know, that missile defense system that Russia have, just to see, you know, what was all the hype about. You know, why is America so afraid? So this is one of the websites that came up, which we're gonna play this video right here, and hopefully you Akim can hear the sound.
Iran's relations with Russia have soured of late after Moscow canceled a contract to deliver an advanced air defense system, the S-300. Much to Tehran's anger, the deal was torn up following the UN Security Council's arms embargo. Russia, meanwhile, has been developing the project further with an even more sophisticated version of the weapon. RT's Yegor Piskunov reports.
Seek and destroy. Planes, helicopters, and even missiles, you name it. The S-400 Triumph can locate and hunt down almost any flying target. First, the target is spotted.
So, as you can see, it says planes. It says planes, missiles. This weapons defense system can pretty much locate any target. You know, in this video, they say that it can hit up to a soccer ball at supersonic speeds, man. So this missile defense system isn't no joke.
Identified. Then the system starts monitoring it or following its course. Then the command makes the call to either eliminate the target or not. After getting the green light, the system opens fire. One of the strong suits of the system is its mobility. It can literally create full-scale air defense anywhere on the ground within.
So, you know, basically this system is very mobile. You know, it can pretty much go anywhere, and it can create a systems defense, you know, 300 in a 360-degree angle. You know, so it doesn't matter, you know, pretty much where it is. And once this thing is they say in this article, when Russia deployed this system into Syria, that America stopped flying its planes. That's how deadly this thing is.
In minutes.
Preparation takes not more than 5 minutes, and everything's done by 3 people, 1 officer and 2 conscripting soldiers.
Damn.
The system can shoot down objects as small as a soccer ball, even if they're flying at supersonic speeds.
Each S-400 system consists of several elements. One radar, which monitors the skies looking for targets, a second one, which follows specific targets, a command post, and the launcher itself, or the gun, as it's called here in the Army. Combined, the elements of the system can follow up to 300 targets, flying from as low as just a few feet above ground and up to nearly 40 miles high in the skies, which is pretty...
It says that this defense system can follow, you know, up to 300 targets, even if they're flying flying as low as a few feet above the ground and up to 14 miles in the sky. So this system is badass. Now, when you compare this one to what the Americans have, which is the Patriot, it doesn't even compare, man. It makes the Patriot looks like a fifth grade rocket science project, you know.
Model T technology in the vehicle, you know, old ancient technology, bro. There ain't no reason for I mean, it's really obsolete. It should be obsolete. This damn America ain't been putting their money into the right. But through the Spirit of the Lord, it's the Most High. You know, I mean,
they've been putting their money into other things. Right. You know, for an example, America is really one of the only countries that have its army deployed in almost every country around the world. Wow. So first of all, your army is spread too thin. Then on top of that, you know, your money is going into, you know, different things that doesn't really benefit you. You know, the main thing that you want to do as a country, you want to protect your home front. You know, and America has neglected its home front, which goes to show you that this place, according to the scriptures, is that place that dwelleth carelessly and is without bars. You know, going over to the scripture right here. Let me see. This is Jeremiah 49. Salakia for the internet speed. You know, Satan be fucking with it sometimes. This is Jeremiah 49:31, which reads, it says, "Arise, get you up unto the wealthy nation that dwelleth without care, saith Yahweh." It says, which have neither gates nor bars, which dwell alone. And the gates and bars is America's weapons defense system, you know. So it doesn't have a great weapons defense system where it can protect itself from an attack from foreign invaders or from foreign troops, you know. So this place is completely vulnerable, you know, and it's gonna be destroyed. You know, that's the reason why. And let's say, for instance, this place was able to intercept, you know, intercontinental ballistic missile. You can't intercept 200 million of them, you know. So this place is through, man. It's finished through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And what we're reading right here is prophecy. You know, the fact that Turkey and Russia are in an alliance, and Russia is selling the S-400 system to Turkey. That's just prophecy unfolding itself, you know, because even the allies of America is going to turn against this place. You know, none of these countries want you over there, flying over their land, because all you're doing is flying over and gathering intelligence on them, on your own people, you know, on your own allies. You know, and they know that you're a two-faced snake.
Hey, I got a scripture real quick. Pink off what you just said, brother. This is Ezekiel 38:11. And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages, and I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls, and having neither bars nor gates. So they have no defense system. And this is Ezekiel 38. We already know this is what Russia is Russia is taking the fact that you as people that dwell carelessly, they know you're not watching. They know you're not paying attention. They know that you think that you have America is an army of one and nobody could defeat America. They know that. So they just let you basically feel proud and stout about yourself. And then, you know, you don't think they analyze, they got sleeper cells here, they got sleeper cells in your government, you don't think they know your back, your front and back. You know, you're stupid. So that's why, and on top of that, you're dealing with the rest of the world, with a bad, you can putting bad taste in everybody's mouth. So what do you think? The rest of the world is going to still have your back? Why you think South Korea is linking up back with North Korea? And South Korea was your ally.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
and that's just the Most High. Hey, like it says in the book of Proverbs, it says that the king's heart is in the mind of the Most High. You know, so all of these kings, you know, as it states in the book of Isaiah, the 14th chapter, it says that hell from beneath us is moved against thee to meet thee at thy coming. You know, it stirreth up the dead for thee, all of the chief ones of the earth. You know, there's all of the kings of these nations. You know, the Most High is putting it in their spirit, you know, and in their mind to turn against you and to be an enemy unto you, you know, and to join with your adversaries, you know, which, let me share the screen again, which even your own allies are going to turn against you. You know, in Obadiah 1:7, it says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat the bread, they that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. And they that eat thy bread, NATO is being highly funded by America. That was one of the things that Trump was angry about, and he threatened to stop funding NATO. You know, which did what? That made your reputation with NATO to become sour. You know, because America is funding NATO and giving NATO billions of dollars, and Trump has that American first mentality to where they're only trying to look out for themselves, and they're neglecting their friends. Hey, well, even the scripture says, which shows you that America, you know, they don't give a fuck about nobody but themselves. Hey, the scripture says, right, even though America is wicked, it says when you come across a bunch of money, neglect not your friends. You know, so the fact that America is threatening, and it speaks about that in the book of Sirach. The fact that America threatened to not give funding to NATO, that goes to show you that these are your allies that were eating of that bread. But your allies are going to turn against it. You know, those that are in confederacy with you, they're going to turn against you. And this right here is a clear example. You know, this whole thing between Russia and supplying. They're supplying Turkey with a missile defense system, the S-400. It ain't because, you know, Russia wants to protect Turkey from the missiles that is going to shoot at Turkey. You know, this right here shows you that they're not beefing, right? You know, and that they're pretty much on the same side, because I'm not about to give weapons to my enemy, you know, to protect himself against me. Like here's a shield, you know, to stop me from stabbing you because I want to stab you. You know, this right here shows you that they're on the same side, that they're on the same mind. You know, the scripture says, how can two walk together except they be agreed?
Brother made a great statement. That means they're together. This is Ezekiel 38:7. It says, be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. So this is Ezekiel 38. Well, if I go up to the 6th verse, it says Gomar and all his bands and the house of Togomar are the north quarters, and all bands and all his bands, and many people with thee. It says, be thou prepared, verse 7, be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thy guard unto them. So that's like looking out for all those European nations. That's basically part of that's because a lot of them are affiliated with NATO, but that shit is gonna be disseminated. It's no. Russia has. It's going. Russia has probably a better rapport with those other nations. We already know than with America, and you have a missile defense system that's being a guard unto these other nations who probably don't have the nuclear capabilities or
to defend
themselves. They don't have already stockpiled for 60 years nuclear missiles. So now being smart, a missile defense system that could go and attack at least 300 missiles or any object that flies
at one time.
Hey, but give me 2 of them. You know what I mean? Give me 3 of them. You know, and because right now this is about to be this what the scriptures say. There's going to be a war of fuel and the burning of fire.
Yeah. Go ahead, and so, like, you set those S-400s on your border, and what they do is they act as a wall of protection, you know, against foreign missiles, you know, or foreign objects or whatever you want to call them, you know, which will come to invade you. You know, the scripture talks about in the book of Joel how speaking metaphorically about the ICBM missiles. You know, how they're going to climb up the walls, you know, and into your houses, you know. So it acts as a form of protection against that, and America doesn't have it. And the fact that America doesn't have it, and America's allies are purchasing, you know, this kind of technology from one of America's arch enemies, you know, this is making America insecure, you know.
And that's making them, you know, they at the edge of their seats, you know, when you kind of nervous, right? Remember all that shit. What they say, even looking at, you know, Malcolm X, even though he has to say, he said, "Now your chickens don't come home to roost."
Okay,
it's to the point now where you're gonna have major issues in the world because you done been a thorn in a lot of nations' sides, you know, and them nations are so fucking tired of you, you know, because hey, some of these nations can't eat good out of their own country, you know. If you want everything, so that and basically it falls under their elite, you know, through the spirit of Yahweh Shemir Shai, he's mustering up the battle of this you know, all the valley of troops. It's gonna be the time, man. It's fastly approaching, brothers. We and brothers in the no, you know, you can't go to IUIC and ask them this question. You can't go to ISUPK and ask them this question. You know, they think it's all about being Israelite, you know, and changing your name. You know, they think it's all about that. You know, men of great millstone and men that's affiliated when we're looking for the prophecies. That's right. And it's not it's prophecy is not in their mind, their heart. And that's what the Yahweh Shas told us. We got to keep our mind on these things.
Okay.
Go ahead, bro.
In America being destroyed by thermonuclear destruction is blatant prophecy. You know, it's a prophecy that the saints are waiting on. And the scripture says the patience and the faith of the saints. You know, that's what we're patiently waiting on. That's what we have faith in, that America is going to destroy this captivity the same way that he destroyed Sodom and Egypt. You know, the same way that he destroyed, you know, I said it, Sodom and Egypt. You know, Egypt was one of the major, you know, captivities our people have been in. You know, and what did we do when we was in that place? We were sighing and crying into the Most High and groaning because of the oppression that we were going through. And that's the same spirit that you're supposed to be in this place, because this place is same, you know, this place is the same. And that's the reason why the elect are always constantly making videos, you know, to vent. You know, we're also lifting up prayers. This is a prayer to the Most High, you know, so that the Most High can hear this and see that we're vexed with this place and see all of the hell that we're catching, you know. But America's destruction was already written into prophecy, you know, before, you know, it happened. You know, the Most High warned of it, you know, so that when it does happen, you know, everyone around the world, they would know there was the Most High that did it, you know. And just to share the screen again, this is Isaiah. Salakia. I don't know if it shared. Let me go back. All right, the book of Isaiah, the 14th chapter, verse 10, it says, all day. As a matter of fact, let me read a verse up. This is Isaiah 14:9. It says, hell from beneath is moved to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It have raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. So all of these nations, around the world are rising up against you, whether they be friend or foe. They're all what does the scripture say? Well, not the scripture. There's a proverb. It says, enemy of my enemy is my friend. Isn't that how it goes? So basically you have become enemies to your own, so therefore your enemies are become the friends of become their friends, so they're all looking to destroy you. This is verse 10. It says, and they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become as weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Because these nations, not only do they have the S-400 weapons defense system, which can protect them from you shooting missiles on them, the way that you shot missiles on Syria. They also have intercontinental ballistic missiles that they're receiving from these nations as well. Yeah. That they're receiving from Russia, and they're going to use them to destroy you.
Right.
They're going to use them to destroy you.
There's a lot of commerce going between these nations that they're dealing with each other, back and forth. And it actually has been, you think about it now, it's even being publicized that a NATO country is dealing with like Turkey was dealing with Russia. It's obviously being said in the geopolitics. So these countries that's basically allies with America are basically turning their sides to what basically America's, we're gonna say, enemy, because they are the enemy. But at this moment, it's not a full scale war. It's just commerce at this moment. You're selling a beautiful defense system. This package ready to destroy anything that moves in their airspace. I got a scripture. This is Ezekiel 23:29. It says, and they shall deal with thee hatefully, and they shall take away all thy labors, and shall leave thee naked and bare, and with the nakedness of the whoredoms shall be discovered, both thy lewdness and thy whoredoms. See, America, you're being exposed. That's it. And all the lewdness that you have, you went in all facets of the whole world, and you put your foot in there, and you came and you brought democracy, and you changed the attitudes of the women in the lands that was at least had some type of shame. Now you go in the land, now women are wearing tight pants over in Saudi Arabia and no, probably not Saudi Arabia, but in Iran,
they don't want to wear head wraps.
Right. You stepped in the wrong. You're dealing, and that's what makes these nations hate you, because now with that spirit that you bring over there, it's a change to them, and the men are being vexed because of the situation that you turning the thing around with them. So it says, because all the whoredoms, they say, I will discover both the lewdness and thy whoredoms. So basically, America is being exposed as the weak nation that it is. It is. So they can't hide behind their nukes or anything anymore. You got missile defense systems. You got other nations that's got the missile. Now they got this, and they got that button that you got. Now that's why it says, as thou as weak as we. Now you're on the same plane with a lot of these nations. Iran got their uranium. So everything is coming to a head where now you got to talk. You can't just jump in. You can't just walk into the nation, the country, and say you're not going to do this, do that, like they did a few years back with Iran. It's not going to happen anymore. Go ahead, bro.
This is last and final scripture, unless the Spirit hit us to bring out more.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, this is prophetic right here. You know, the fact that Turkey is now, you know, basically it was an American ally because it's part of NATO, but now it's playing the other side of the fence.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's acting as the opposition of America. Now it says right here in Jeremiah 51, which we know Jeremiah 49, Jeremiah 50, Jeremiah 51, they all go into prophecy about you know, the destruction of America. You know, so this is Jeremiah 51 and 27, which I'm not saying every scripture is talking about America, because when you read these verses, they'll jump to the future, then they'll be in the past, and go back to the past, and they'll jump back to the future. But you have to read it with the spiritual eye to be able to comprehend exactly what time frame is talking about. Now, this is Jeremiah 51 to 27. It says, set ye up a standard in the land, blow the trumpet among the nations, prepare the nations against her. And who are the nations being prepared against? They're being prepared against America, which is spiritually called Babylon, to destroy her. It said, call against her all the kingdoms. You know, so all of the nations in the world, you know, are going to turn against America. It says, call against her all of the kingdoms of Ararat. Now, where's Ararat right now, today? Isn't it in Turkey? Manay and the Ashkenaz. It says, appointed captain against her, cause the horses to come up come up as the rough caterpillars. Prepare against her the nations with the kings of the Medes. Now, according to prophecy, you know, the nation that's living in the land of the Medes right now are the Russians. You know, so the Russians are going to come up against her. This is talking about pretty much all of the nations that are in that region, because if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me, the Ashkenaz are the Germans. It says the captains thereof and all the rulers thereof. It says in all the land of his dominion. It says, and the land shall tremble in sorrow, for every purpose of Yahweh shall be performed against Babylon, to make the land of Babylon a desolation without inhabitant, without an inhabitant. You know, so these nations that are considered your allies are going to destroy you, you know, point blank, period. And there's nothing that you can do about it, you know, because you don't have a weapons defense system. You don't have any program or any software, you know, or any technology that can prevent these nations from sending 200 million missiles on you and destroying you.
Ain't no way.
There's no way possible. You know, so this is all prophetic. You know, it's the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, you know, acting out, you know, and showing that it's true, showing that the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is true, you know. So the fact that, you know, Russia is selling these S-400 missile defense systems to Turkey and telling America, yeah, we'll sell it to you as well if you're feeling insecure. That's just a taunt. You know, that's just to show them that, look, our shit work and yours don't. You know, so there's nothing that you can do, you know. I mean, if you want, we'll sell them to you. Not which I don't take that as them being serious, you know, in regards to selling it to America. You know, maybe they are, maybe they're not, but what we do know is America, according to scripture, is known as the land of unwalled villages. So according to prophecy, I would say no, they're not going to sell it to them, and that they were just using this as a way to taunt America, to show them that they're weak, you know, and you're weak because the Most High allowed you to be weak, and the Most High is going to destroy you.
John, I got two scriptures for you.
Okay.
This is Isaiah 14:4. Thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how has the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. Also, this is Habakkuk 2:6. It says, and shall not all these take up a parable against him, a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increases that which is not his, how long, and to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. Right. And that's basically what it's about. The Russians are taunting America. Hey, they've been taunting America for a minute. You know, over there with North Korea, when it was just testing their bombs, their nuclear capability in the ocean. Well, the Russian president was over there, and what he so-called just happened to be in South Korea while they was doing it. You know, but so how now you think about how is the Russian president over in South Korea, and they're testing missiles in North Korea, and now all of a sudden North and South Korea are being in an alliance. You know, so hey, look, Russia, the Lord is about to shake this shit up, shake your safety or your confidence up. He's shaking it up. That's why America is watching this world geopolitics. They're watching every little chess piece over there in Europe. Hey, the Russians is really doing good moves over there, making good alliances and things. And hey, man, you just going over there taking. they got something to give, you know, protection. You know, you got the big brother on the who gonna be the big brother on the block? How about Yahweh Shai is gonna be the big brother to tear this place apart. And Russia, matter of fact, Russia is not gonna be superpower for a minute.
They're not gonna rule.
They're not gonna rule for a minute. You know, they're gonna have not superpower. They're not gonna rule for a minute. They're gonna have the backing of the rest of those nations. But how about Yahweh Shai is gonna tear this place apart?
Man. He's gonna destroy them over in the Valley of Yehoshaphat.
Right.
You know, and to say that Russia is gonna be a superpower for a minute and they're gonna think an evil thought and come up against the children of Israel once they're established in the land, that doesn't fit prophecy. You know, because Isaiah the 2nd chapter and Micah the 4th chapter both says that once the children of Israel are established in the land, they're going to be at peace and no one's going to war against them. And then also to say that Russia is going to be a superpower, you're speaking blasphemous because you're saying that they're going to escape the hand of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You know, that they're going to escape from being destroyed from Yahweh Shai in the Valley of Yahweh Shaphat, you know, which the scriptures clearly say that all nations are going to be in the Valley of Yahweh Shaphat fighting, you know, and that they're going to Second Ezra, the 13th chapter says that they're going to turn from fighting against each other because they're going to see Yahweh Shai coming. So you're saying that basically to say that you're saying that Russia or the king that's leading them, which would be Putin, is more powerful than Yahweh Shai if he can avoid his hand. You know, so basically, as we know, you know, the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai isn't dealing with certain individuals. You know, but we hope that this lesson was edifying, you know, through the spirit. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Baha Rakah Kodash. A double honor to our apostles at Great Millstone who rule and teach well through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And peace, love, and mercy be unto you, elect Akim, throughout the four corners of the world. And keep holding on firm, you know, because as you can see through videos like this or articles like this, we're drawing closer and closer. So with that, we want to say shalom.
Shalom.